Hello everyone, this is Brandon Hayes doing something a little different today. Instead of talking about bad movies and crappy TV shows, I'm going to talk about the world of Warcraft. I've been playing the game for years and I'm really enjoying the brand new expansion Warlords of Draenor, in particular the Garrison feature. Recently on WoW Insider, someone posted an article titled, "What would you like to see in your Garrison?" Well, most people responded with the typical requests, like asking for racial skins for their buildings or the ability to move their garrisons to different maps. I thought I'd try and make my request a bit more unique. So here we go, a list of 10 things I'd like to see appear in my garrison. Number 1, prisoners. At this time, I only have 2 max level characters, my Horde Druid and my Alliance Paladin. They both have a level 3 barracks building. It was only a few days ago that I actually stepped inside these buildings, and while exploring I noticed they both have prisons. The Horde prison is empty, the Alliance prison has a single prisoner, but he serves no actual purpose. To add more functionality to an already existing building, Blizzard should introduce a series of NPCs you can imprison. Once they're behind bars, they can offer daily quests that reward garrison resources. "Hey, you, come here. I overheard the prison guards talking. They're thinking of executing me. You don't want me dead. I have valuable intel to share. The Horde is transporting a shipment of lumber and stone through Gorgrond. Those resources could be yours. If you promise me protection, I'll mark the location on your map." Number 2, mine monsters. How many times has this happened? Some arrogant dwarf or greedy goblin goes digging too deep and unearths an ancient evil. Well, why not use this tired old cliche yet another time? We have mines in our garrisons. Maybe give us the option to blast down a wall and unveil a secret device like one of those demonic Stargate things. Usable once a week, it summons a random monster that can drop an assortment of things, from gold to loot to garrison resources. Maybe give people the choice to summon a weaker monster for single player combat, or a tougher monster that'll require a party of 3 or more to destroy. Number 3, material sinks. Warlords of Draenor basically turned every player into a gatherer. We all have mines for ore, gardens for herbs, barns for fur and leather. It's insanity. The economy has definitely suffered because of this. So what's the solution? How about adding an NPC to our garrison who will accept these materials as donations for the war effort? In exchange for our generosity, they'll supply us with war bonds. What could you buy with these war bonds? The typical stuff, exclusive mounts, battle pets, titles, and so on. The more items for sale, the better. It'd let us essentially delete our crafting materials without feeling any guilt. Number 4, pond refinement. When we first stepped foot inside our garrison, it had a pond, but there weren't any fish inside it. All you could fish up was useless garbage. An NPC explained that we needed to add fish eggs to the waters before we could truly fish there. That's great. So I was able to choose which fish eggs to add to my pond, right? Wrong. Not only did I not have a choice, but this stupid idiot added crescent saberfish eggs to the waters. Crescent saberfish are the worthless vendor fish of this expansion. Now I understand that Blizzard didn't want to give us the ability to fish up nothing but good fish, otherwise the fish market would be ruined too, just like ore and herb markets. So how about giving us the ability to choose one breed of fish we can nurture in abundance every day? With the reset of herbing and mining nodes, we also get fishing nodes that offer your preferred choice of fish. Number 5, traveling visitors. The trade post is pretty limited in what it does. It lets you turn a random material like frostweed, for example, into garrison resources. It also has an auctioneer robot you have to build, which is a huge pain in the ass. But it would be nice if actual travelers showed up to offer you items for trade. Who they are and what they're offering could be any number of things and totally dependent on the random number generator. One day, a distinguished gentleman shows up to trade frostweed for true iron ore. The next day, a filthy vagrant shows up and offers to trade a lockbox full of what she calls unknown mysteries for 1,000 gold coins. You could literally do anything with this kind of setup. One day, a lonely dwarf shows up. He explains he's a professional treasure hunter, but he's down on his luck. He's hungry. He wants a hot meal that you cook in exchange for half a treasure map. He admits his map is worthless while incomplete, but who knows, he explains. Maybe someday you'll be visited by the owner of the other half, and you'll be able to trade them something for their piece. When you eventually get the 2 pieces of the map, you put them together and you got yourself coordinates for a unique reward. Number 6, cemetery remodeling. Your garrison has a cemetery inside it, which is incredibly useful when a garrison invasion strikes, and the entire army concentrates their firepower on you and you alone. God, it's so frustrating. Perhaps the attacks wouldn't be so bad if you could close the damn garrison gates. Why did these things stay open 24/7? Anyway, when your garrison isn't under fire, the graveyard doesn't do much. So how about giving you a monument in the center of the graveyard that allows you to commemorate fallen soldiers? Once a day you could use the garrison resources to buy flowers, and placing the flowers in front of the monument would grant reputation gains. There are tons of factions in World of Warcraft. The game was built upon a heavy foundation of rep grinding. You could limit this idea to old, dead, out-of-date factions, or you could also allow it to work for current warlord factions. Number 7. Casinos. There's a place in Ashara that appeared during the Cataclysm expansion called the Gallywix Pleasure Palace. This place has always fascinated me because it looks so cool and so unusual, and yet it doesn't do anything. It's so full of potential but so disappointing. Let's just consider it a failed attempt at fun and figure out how to incorporate a Gallywix-style building in our garrisons. It could be a casino or an arcade, something. You could play blackjack, bet on tall strider races, maybe place wagers on whether or not we'll ever get a dance studio in-game. We have buildings that help with professions, give us access to new mounts and so on, but we don't have a building that exclusively provides entertainment. The introduction of a casino could change all that. Number 8. More monuments. Monuments are great achievements to strive for, but there aren't many of them. I want more variety, rewards for both simple and hard accomplishments. I want faction-specific statues, ones that can be stolen and defiled. Imagine King Varian Rin's likeness standing in my horde garrison, with his sword shattered to pieces and his face splattered with red paint. I could pelt it with rotten fruit, paper zeppelins, and griefer fish all day long. Or let me find random objects in the world worthy of putting on display. Crystal pillars, petrified monsters, the remains of Garrosh Hellscream, the ultimate embarrassment to the horde. Number 9. Class-specific buildings. I never completed my Warlock-specific Green Fire quest. It was ridiculously hard, and I have very little patience for that kind of gameplay. However, tons of people enjoyed it, and Blizzard has said they'd like to add more class-specific quests in the future. I can't think of a better way to start a class-specific quest than receiving it from a class-specific building. A Warlock Sanctum, for example, could combine the creepy atmosphere of Orgrimmar's Cleft of Shadows with Stormwind's secretive Slaughtered Lamb Tavern. In addition to a unique quest, these buildings could also provide access to class-specific vanity items, which are also things Blizzard confirmed are coming soon. And finally, number 10, player housing. Okay, so I saved the best or worst for last, depending on your personal perspective. Players like myself have been begging for player housing since day one, though I know some of you couldn't care less. Blizzard has gone on record saying they don't like player housing. It doesn't fit in WoW. Now I agree, if we just had nice, neat little Horde and Alliance neighborhoods, that would look a bit strange. However, we have garrisons now. Let us use one plot for a personal house. Where's my character supposed to sleep otherwise? In the town hall? How about the doghouse? There's an actual doghouse in my Alliance garrison, yet my hero, Commander General, has no place to call her own. Please, just give us proper housing. Most of the items I'd furnish my home with already exist in-game right now. A comfortable bed, a nightstand, a sexy goblin nudie girl poster, that's all I need, and these things are already coded. Well, this video's gone on far too long, and I need to get back in game before sunset. Harvest myself some herbs so I can build myself a nest to sleep in. Thanks for watching, and if you like this departure from our typical TortureVision movie and television reviews, then let me know. If so, I might make more WoW-related content in the future.